Peace, Dolla50. You already know. Yo, listen. When I said I was going to do the hip hop headquarters, it was 100. You know what I mean? I've been going through pandemics. You know what I mean? People complaining that, it's no bail option, no option for bail. People complaining that, they ain't got no training. They got people, twerking that don't know how to, don't know how to twerk, you know what I mean? I've been going through all types of, people going to prison. I've been going through crazy nonsense based on saying I'm gonna do a hip hop headquarters. Now, I'm not signed to nobody. I'm not, I took my music to Times Square and tried to get on Weed Legal, you know what I mean? But I'm not signed to nobody. I don't have no contract with nobody. Now, when they try and, claim what I'm doing, you know what I mean? They lost contact with all of the rights and all that when they didn't show up for the album. When I pushed the album, they didn't show up. So, quite naturally, when I'm pushing the hip hop headquarters, you don't have no connection with the hip hop headquarters. You know what I mean? When I'm pushing vaccine distribution, you don't have nothing to do with that as well, you know what I mean? They don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So when they claiming, what I'm doing and all that, I'm going through crazy resistance, I'm not Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? I grew up around Puerto Ricans, I grew up around Jamaicans, I grew up around people from different nationalities, Trinidad, Haiti, Panama, Dominican Republic. I grew up around people from all over, you know what I mean? But most importantly, I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm just putting it out there because people misconstrue what's real and then try and, wait until something go wrong and then say, you gotta depend on them, and it ain't like that. It ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? I just thought I'd throw it out there. But I've been going through mad crazy resistance with, doing the hip hop headquarters. When people don't got be bailed out, nothing else is real. They depend on, the hip hop headquarters not being established. But when I push the hip hop headquarters, I be like, yo, let them out of there. That's not real. That's not going to be real. If the hip hop headquarters wouldn't have been established, that situation wouldn't be present. You know what I mean? Let them out of there. I'll be pushing my joint, and they be like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Then when I get on Twitter and be like, Congress, FBI, you know what I mean? New York Stock Exchange. When I put all of that in line, in sync with what I'm saying, then they be like, oh, don't mess around with, Dolla50. Dolla50, partly crazy with all that Twitter, chemistry, you know what I mean? Yo, it's crazy like that, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And, I want people to take it seriously, because when you get into it, when you catch a real case, and you know what I mean? And nobody show up, and I showed up where the odds was against, the defendant. The odds was against the defendant, where they had proof that the defendant was the defendant, but they didn't have consistency in the process. The process was based on the information allowed into the process, contaminating the process, and the case supposed to have been thrown out like that. Not saying it wasn't the person. Like if the person would have pleaded the fifth, and then they would have denied the evidence and found to be introduced into the case, then it would have been a different scenario. You know what I'm saying? If I say I plead the fifth, and then the evidence that they found not be introduced into the case, because the person was on Twitter twerking. The person was on Twitter twerking while the case was being heard. So when that was the case, you know what I mean? If the person would have said, well, I plead the fifth. And the person just being seen twerking, you know what I mean? It confuses the evidence that's found. When you say the evidence that's found, then you're saying, well, you might not even survive somebody twerking on Twitter, you know what I mean? And in the middle of a case being heard in court. So that's kind of crazy. But saying that to say, I go through those extremes of establishing the hip hop headquarters, and people don't like me and all that. I don't even know these people. They dealing with the extremes of this information not being in its proper context, and I'm showing up along the way. No bail, no hip hop sick pay, no retirement. No union membership. You don't have no training. You just go from high school to hip hop. It's not right. You know what I mean? You can't say it's not right. You gotta survive whatever happens. That's how you gotta do it. Yo, check out this next video. Crazy. Peace. $1.50.